Gonna be a chance first up as a shot of praise for Short and Deadly, already getting the guy dotted up as the man going in. Look at this guy. Look at this dude. He's got himself a little hat. He got himself a big old stick. What is going on? Big Bladestorm chance taking a lot of damage as the Siphon just getting cleaved down in the Bladestorm chance, trying to see if he can back up away from Short and Deadly. But they made this Bladestorm chance again. Massive executes back to back. Oh, and the blade just sent chance over the edge, trying to see if he can deny Lithanium a proper restealth. I love this Mog, man. This dude just looks like he was just a gnome off of an expedition, found a stick in the woods, and decided, okay, I'll join your arenas. And you're just out here bonking people over the head. Lithanium looks like a rogue, or maybe potentially like a personal bodyguard of the expedition. Skills out the wazoo, years of experience, deadly assassin. Who's gonna win? Them or Short and Deadly with a big old stick? Just a big old log, man. Big pistol shots by the rogue. They're getting quite a bit of damage. That is an arms warrior. He is going to try to go for a fear. I think maybe trying to go for a complete reset versus the rogue. I think he doesn't want to go for second wind. And the rogue trying to see if he can deny the second winds. Able to pierce past his defenses with the ambushes as well as the find weakness. Big disarmament to the warrior. Just trying to see if he can walk away. But it's pistol shots and just going to keep ripping right through him. Short and Deadly at some point is going to have to counter. Got himself a big trinket. Storm Bolt on Lithania. Trying to see if he can blast past their defenses. That's going to be an evasion. But still able to blast right through the evasion. What was that overpower? That was ridiculous. Gonna be dropping down the banner. Rogue taking it out very quickly, breaking out of that gouge, charging towards Nathaniel with the Bladestorm, mad damage. Oh my god! Nathaniel had no health whatsoever. It's gonna be out and about, blind onto Short and Deadly. Definitely needs to go for a bit of a reheal, but Short and Deadly got himself that second wind in him. Stormbolt on Lithania, trying to see if he can dodge it. I'm surprised that Stormbolt did not connect properly. Bladestorm to follow, and then he can't really spot here. Feign up, but that's gonna be mad damage. Oh my god! How do you counter that? You have spear, so you can't go anywhere. You can no longer cloak with shadows it. You can't even vanish out of that spear anymore. You got no evasion. You can't disarm the guy. You can press feint and then pray. You can respec into a priest and then hit prayer, divine prayer on yourself. That's about all you can do. But you're a rogue at the end of the day. Divine prayer ain't gonna do nothing for you. That's all you can do as a rogue. There's absolutely no counter. And it's so hilarious. My god, they really wanted to make arms warriors good, huh? At some point in Shadowlands, you could cloak of shadows the spear. You could vanish out of the spear. I don't know when they changed it, but I understand why they changed it. But Chicago hanging out versus Short Deadly, trying to see if they can potentially blast past their defenses. Massive early blast, knocking him back, does catch himself, but doesn't quite leap onto the floor. Instead, he actually slips right through the cracks. I guess maybe it's part of his physique, just literally able to slip through, because there are some cracks on top of the bridge. But is able to at least catch up a little bit of help with that as he goes in, charging back to Chicago, who's busy transmogging. And the man actually backed up to let Chicago transmog. What a weird duel this is. Stormbolt on Chicago, another knock back, but does have a charge to catch him back with a lightning lasso to follow. Ellie blasts Short Deadly, at least does a parry, so he's reducing quite a good amount of damage that he had taken. Gonna be a big warbreaker on Chicago. Spirit to follow can't really go to a big Bladestorm, does activate battle stance, but maybe in a bit of trouble. Chicago with a wall chart to reduce the damage. 40% DR is able to at least survive that Bladestorm damage. Back to back into defensive stance for Short Deadly. Got him to like get Chicago, got any kind of Ellie blast to him. Gonna be going back into battle stance. Another Bladestorm with a mortal strike. Lots of damage. Sharp on blades. Massive executes. Try to go for a knockback, but doesn't quite go flying off of that bridge. Got himself another Stormbolt. Big charge. Does he have the execute? Does end up falling off the platform? Does he have a way to reconnect? Charging back in. Chicago does get himself a heal in the last second. Short Deadly with yet another charge. Is it gonna be enough though? Does go for back-to-back executes. The last second can't really get out of it. Oh, he does have a trinket for it. Last second got a trinket. Got himself reflecting because Chicago goes in for frost strike or anything. Big executes, mortal strike is still coming through. Chicago just trying to desperately avoid him as best as they can. The auto attacks can just end you. Does give himself a bit of a heal with a primordial. And it's gonna be Chicago just trying to see if he can live this. Gonna be a quick Stormbolt charge by Short and Deadly as he goes defensive stance, but the knockback gonna send him flying. Can't really heal this properly. Big Ellie blast to follow. Doesn't really have a proper defensive for a while. It's gonna try to see if he can leap away from Chicago. At least try to stay away from him best as he can. Does he have Ignore Pain? There goes Ignore Pain. But he does have defenses coming back up very, very soon, and offensives. Gonna be Chicago backing away from the parry. But I think Chicago wants to make sure he doesn't get the second wind healing at all. As long as it's a flame shock on the guy or frost shock or any kind of hit to his health, he won't heal. But he actually got nothing. He's actually clean. Oh no, for Chicago, this could be an opportunity to go down, actually. That might have been what lost him the duel. Big spear as they go for light and lasso, able to control the warrior for a little bit, but that spear is still highly locked in. Bladestorm does have a wall for it, at least able to reduce the damage greatly, with big executes coming through by short and deadly. As long as he can reduce Chicago's ability to heal, another Bladestorm up and running. Mortal Strikes are going to be hitting with it unhinged. My goodness, with Reflect, Chicago able to at least sunder, trying to wait out until Reflect is off. Does get caught in a pixel from the wall. That is unfortunate. I know they were trying to run. I know they weren't trying to slow themselves down, but that pixel just caught them in the last second with Short and Deadly trying to see if he can back up out of there as he goes in for Stormbolt versus SRNG. I don't know how you say your name. Mind Games to follow. Does get a big Horrify onto Short and Deadly. It's going to be a bit of Reflected. Short and Deadly may be in a bit of trouble. I think might be done for the cow. Does go for a fear. I still got Void Eruptions on him. Needs a heal right now. Does use a Warlock Hellstorm from Diabolicals. Try to go for a bit of a leap as RNG try to execute him, but doesn't quite catch him. Is there still dots in here? I think there is. Trying to avoid SRNG as best as they can, but can they do it? Shadow Crash does maybe. I don't know if I avoided it. I think it's over. Stormbolt, he did as well as he could, man. Short and Deadly, proving us that he is actually deadly. SGK is going to be up next. What is these names? SGK, SRNG, like what? Try to give the Shadow Priest a bit of an honor duel, but the guy was like, you know what, let's just get some dots in there, man. Void Eruptions flying out, Silence onto the Death Knight, maybe able to horrify some of the undeads. Looks like they're immune to it. Does get the Mind Games on the SGK, though. Could potentially be bad for the Death Knight. Shadow Crash, but that's going to be SRNG at no help whatsoever. The Priest getting hit with a blind, might be just in a dead spot right there. Unless he gets with a heal, try to heal up as best he can. Fear does get a trap thrown Unholy, but then gives him an opportunity to at least heal himself. Going for flash heals. At SGK, Dark Pact, not gonna let you heal at all. AMS, gonna give you a bit of that protection. SRNGK can't really do much about it. Maybe can go for Power Word Life Zone, but he's not taking that much damage. Not dead yet. He can at least heal himself. What a Silence Mage turning around him. Needs that Power Word Life now. Use it. Power Word Life. Oh my goodness. The man should have used Power Word Life, but maybe it wasn't off cooldown for him. Maybe for us it looked like it was off cooldown, but for him, maybe he used it a little early. Gonna be Shadow Strike open up by Airless. Get a shot, cheap shot to follow versus GDK. As he got himself a no cloak of shadows, actually just burning right through the defenses of DGK. Not much you can really do about it. GG may be in trouble, and that's gonna be back-to-back Eviscerates taking him out. Well done, well done. And Airless does end up taking one of them out. Gonna be the pet being around chilled. Actually was able to soak one of those secret techniques instead of having all the shadow strikes from the shadow images of Rogue go into chilled. One of them went to that undead, giving Chilpas a little bit more survivability. Having a pet around you for secret technique is actually kind of value. Gonna be a Shadow Step by Arliss, actually ambush opener onto Chilpas as he does damage a reset. Chilpas trying to see if he can activate as much damage as he can. Does he maybe have himself a defensive? Gonna be the Dark Pact for just a moment. Arliss out of defensive as well. Blind but chilled. Does he have the damage though? He needs one big obliterate. Does he do it? Oh, kid is shot by Arliss. Does he take him down right there? Oh my god. But the dad was able to claim it. Airless did not want to go down without a fight. It was like, if anything, I'm taking Chills down. And it did such a good job, man. Yo, Short and Deadly, living up to that name, man. I love your bog, by the way. I love that man's energy, dude. It's got that energy of just like, I don't really care. I'm just gonna go in, have some fun.